Disclaimer: this video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It does not constitute financial advice. We are not registered financial advisors. Hello everyone, breaking news coming out of the US yesterday. So this was all over my YouTube. I'm sure you've seen it as well. So NEOS is being acquired by Goldman Sachs. So we've had NEOS on the channel several times. Troy, Cates, and Garrett, the co-founders, have been on the channel several times. So congratulations to them. So Goldman Sachs is acquiring them for $2.3 billion. So you could go on their website and they had a little podcast with Goldman Sachs. I highly recommend you check it out. It's not a long video, but you guys could check that out here. How long is this video? Yeah, so the video is 6 minutes. I've watched the video. So essentially, in case you own any NEOS funds, nothing is going to change. The stock tickers are going to be the same. Basically, NEOS is going to kind of be an arm of Goldman Sachs. Why I think this was a genius move from Goldman Sachs, by the way, is because the covered call space, or the income space, like they talked about in the podcast, is growing very, very, very rapidly. I think the guys at NEOS really are experts, and they're going to be staying on. I believe they're going to, I guess, become Goldman Sachs employees, but maybe they'll get some anonymity or be autonomous, if you will, not anonymity. But I've always said on this channel that on the US stock market, I think the top three providers, in my opinion, of income-oriented ETFs, in terms of really the classic indexes and stuff, is Goldman Sachs, NEOS, and TAP Alpha. So now Goldman Sachs, instead of cranking out all their own covered call ETFs, they're gonna be absorbing these. So they're gonna have index versions. They have an S&P 500 and Nasdaq 100, which I really feel are really good, more superior than the BlackRock ones, JEPI and JEPQ. You guys know I talk about these two ETFs all the time on my channel. These are the classic S&P 500 and classic Nasdaq 100 covered call ETFs, which I always use as my benchmark. These always have really, really high total returns. So you have GPIX for the S&P 500, which is always about 8% yield monthly distribution, and GPIC for the Nasdaq 100 always about 10% yield. And they've done really well. They're growing. You're looking at over 5 billion now. And you could see, if you scroll down, you see that the monthly distributions are here, but usually the rate for the S&P is 8% yield. And on the Nasdaq one, it's always 10% yield. Of course, the NEOS equivalents are a little bit higher, right? SPY and QQQI, the yield is a little bit higher, but they give up a little bit more upside. And they recently launched their leverage versions as well as a leverage version of their Bitcoin one. And I'm pretty sure this was one of the main reasons they bought it. And, this is a very, very successful Bitcoin covered call ETF on the US stock market, over $1 billion. So Goldman Sachs, instead of just launching their own, just bought it. So congratulations to the guys at NEOS. I'm sure they made a crap load of money. I'm happy for them. I don't think, I could have them on the call, but on the channel, but I don't think it's necessary. I think it's pretty straightforward what they're going to be doing. I recommend watching the podcast. But just to do a quick total return check here, again, I feel like in terms of the indexes, at least, Goldman Sachs, NEOS, and TAP Alpha are some of the best on the US side. So if you're Canadian watching, by the way, you feel free to put these in your RSP. I think it's a good idea. These are some of the best ones. Of course, they're all a little bit different. But if we do a total return check here, just wanted to show you guys how really good these returns are. And this is without any leverage at all. So you see that in terms of the S&P 500, you have SPY versus T-SPY versus GPIX. Compared to the VU, you see how really, really good GPIX with an X is doing. That is the top performer in terms of the S&P 500. It's super, super, super close to VU. This is, of course, September 4th, 2025 to August 13th, 2026. Because I added the TAP Alpha ones in here. So you see the in terms of the Nasdaq one right now, TDAC, the 0DTE Tap Alpha one, is beating GPIC, but not by much. You see how GPIC with a Q is really, really close to QQQM as well. And it doesn't surprise me that QQQI and the SPY-I are lagging a little bit behind, just because they give up more upside. There's more yield, which means they do more cover calls. You give up more upside. And of course, when the market rips, they're gonna not do as well. But if we just take out the TDAC and the T-SPY to give us a little bit more total return room here. So now we're going January 2024 to 13th of August. We have more time. You could see that GPIC is only 5% behind QQQM. Very hard to do without leverage. So obviously Goldman Sachs really knows what they're doing. QQQI is not that far behind. It's at 58 versus 65 GPIC. Doesn't surprise me. Again, more yield means more cover calls, means more upside given up. And look at the graph here. The market's obviously a lot more upside than downside. And same thing for SPY-I and GPIC. So nothing's going to change if you own, I believe absolutely nothing is going to change if you own any NEOS products in your RSP or in your account, if you're American, whichever account. But yeah, congratulations to Troy and his partner there. I think it's great, Troy and Garrett. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So Goldman Sachs is going to be really a top dog now in the space. Tap Alpha is going to have their work cut out for them. I think Goldman Sachs is already well beating JP Morgan, right? GPICs and GPIC a lot more superior in my opinion than JEPI and JEPQ. We could actually put them here if you want to see them real quick. And I've talked about this before. The reason is because they're not exactly the indexes. So the indexes, guys, are very, 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 very hard to beat. If you look at JEPI, you see how it's lagging behind a lot, right? So JEPI, you see, is really, really not done well. This is what happens when you stock pick and you're more defensive, and you're, instead of just going with the S&P 500. So obviously going with the S&P 500 is much better. And you see JEPQ as well lagging behind even GPICs, but you could see how much it's lagging behind QQQM and GPIC, right? We're talking about 7 plus 6, 7 plus 4. We're talking about 11% difference in terms of total return. So just wanted to show you that, how well they are doing. And yeah, there's the announcement. Just wanted to tell you that, real quick. So that's the end of the video. Stay safe, everyone. Take care. Stay safe, stay passive, stay honorable, and see you next time.